Yeah, everybody. Hey, welcome to this latest episode of Movies Merica. Spoiler warning. And we are going to be going over The Creator tonight. Yes, The Creator. But don't you worry. It's not a faith-based movie. Okay, not at all. We're not going to be getting right with Jesus. We're not going to be opening up our Bibles to the book of Ecclesiastes. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but this movie in particular, not a faith-based movie, The Creator, okay? But, yeah, welcome on in. Come on in. Relax yourself. Ease your mind, okay? Because it's almost the weekend, everybody. And as always, I am your humble host, Van Ebert here. I will be your Sherpa, your guide, okay? I will be your Yoda, your Jedi Master for this episode of Movies Merica. Spoiler warning, okay? And right off the jump, I should warn you, hence the name or the top part of the title of the show, spoiler warning. I am going to spoil you rotten when it comes to The Creator, okay? There's going to be spoils galore. The spoiling of this movie will be glorious. Yes. So, consider yourself warned, okay? If I said that right? Yeah, consider yourself warned about spoilers with The Creator, okay? And that's the name of the game with every episode of Movies Merica. Spoiler warning. There's a reason those two words are in the title, okay? And then also, hey, this is your chance to talk in depth about The Creator, okay? And how do you do that? Well, you live chat with me, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, okay? And you can live chat with me in Rumble or YouTube, okay? Now, if you live chat with me on YouTube, I can put your live chat right down there, okay? So get a little notoriety, get your comment in lights, okay? And but Rumble, chat in there is excellent as well, okay? So, and really, Rumble is the best place to watch this show. To be quite frank, it's easier to find, that kind of thing. All right. But yeah, if you can think of anybody, even remotely, that you would think is interested in checking out this show, yeah, let them know about it. Send them the link. Let them know. Movies Merica, spoiler warning. Look for it on YouTube and Rumble. And all right. Hey, so, let's get this party started here. But, I can't do that until I give you something to dance to.
In a world where the number of movies available is great, but many are so bad, you'll learn a new definition of hate. One man sifts and reviews through the movie sludge. One man will be the movie cop, jury, and judge. He goes by many names, but you know him by Movies Merica.
Yeah, you guys awake yet? Yeah, that intro should pep you up, a little pep in your step here for Movies Merica, spoiler warning. And like I said, it's almost a weekend, everybody. Okay, it's time to loosen the bow tie a little bit. Okay, it's almost time where you can take the khakis off. Or you can take the bright orange vest off if you're a construction worker or you're working out at the airport or something like that. Okay, it's almost time to kick fucking back. All right, so that reminds me. This is a not safe for work and not safe for the kids show as well. Okay, so probably should have let you know before I drop that F-bomb right there. But yeah, this is a show where, I talk real. All right, I talk real. I talk the way that I talk most of the time. I let loose, okay? And, it's just a conversation between me and my family, my friends, okay? And occasionally, a naughty word might escape these lips, all right? And and that's the nature of conversation, right? Okay, I am here not to try to sound, showman-like. Let me rephrase here. So I try to keep it peppy and exciting and whatnot, So I might speak with a little higher volume than I do, say if I just was conversating with you over at the Starbucks or something like that. But that's to keep everyone awake, right? When they want you awake, okay? Because If you're not awake, you're not watching this show. Okay. Also, real quick, hey, if you don't want the movie spoiled, but you just want to support me for free, no cost to you, all you gotta do is have the show on in the background. Keep the volume off. You can have it on your iPad in the back room or some TV or some computer in the back room or in your basement or whatever with the sound off. That's cool. That helps me out because of the watch minutes. You Rumble and YouTube. So you go, oh, hey, people are watching this show for 2 hours. Wow. All right. Hey, damn, good job, buddy. And so that's the reason I asked for that. So, okay. What to do. Should we get right into the creator, everybody? All right. We should definitely do that. So yeah, I'll just give you a few of my thoughts about this movie. I thought the movie was pretty good. It's refreshing to get a movie that is original. Okay. Now I should say original. Okay. Because it's original in the fact that it's not tied to any kind of franchise. It's not a Star Wars movie or a Marvel movie. It's not based on a book. It's not tied to any other creative IP whatsoever. It's completely original. The asterisk, though, is that it borrows from so many other movies. Okay, it's got pieces of District 9. I mean, it's kind of like it's like movie coleslaw. Okay, or movie 7-layer salad. Okay, it's got layers from 7 different movies plus a lot more than that. Okay, but it's a good thing. Okay. I'm making it sound negative, and it's not. Okay, it's a good thing when you watch a movie because sure, along the line, you're like, okay, that kind of reminds me of Blade Runner. That kind of reminds me of District 9. Kind of reminds me of Dancing with Wolves, and all these movies. But it's not going to be top of mind. But you're going to be thinking about it a little bit. But that's good, right? Because those movies are good movies. And when I got reminded of those older movies, it made me feel good because that made me feel kind of nostalgic because it made me happy, because it called back to these great movies. Okay. But I was getting to see it in a different fashion, though, in a different style with a different story. The story itself is original. Okay. And so in that respect, it is an original movie. And I definitely liked it because of that. I mean, franchise stuff, it just gets old. And again, in and of itself, I don't mind franchise things. If there's a franchise and the franchise has 217 movies as part of this franchise, if all 217 movies are good, franchise the fuck out. Hell yeah. I base movies on a very transactional basis. Okay. If one movie in a franchise could be great, the next one could suck, the next one could be great, the next one could suck. I base them off of each movie, okay? And so if you have a franchise and all 217 movies in a franchise are great or even just good or watchable, no problem with that franchise. But as it goes with franchises, they typically start getting fat and happy. They get successful. They start taking people for granted because people go out and they basically scurry, out of their house to go see any movie from the franchise because this franchise has built up so much goodwill, right? Take Marvel, for example. It built up 10 years of goodwill with moviegoers, starting obviously with 2008's Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr., continuing on with Thor and Incredible Hulk and Captain America. 10 years of movie greatness, as part of the Marvel franchise. And so then by the time we got to 2018, Marvel was fat and happy, right? Kevin Feige was like, not even worth even fucking trying anymore, man. What should we do now? And then some blue-haired, social justice warrior, in the background, we should start preaching to people. Okay, all right, we'll use our movies to start preaching to people. Okay, what are we gonna preach about today? We're gonna tell them that white people are bad. Yeah. Okay, let's put it in the movie. Okay, all right. Okay. I mean, that's what Marvel turned into after the first 10 years. Okay, it just turned into this messaging shit, and all that. And so that's why I have a problem. That's when I have a problem with franchises. Okay, all right. So anyway, point is, the creator was original, and it goes against the grain of these franchises that got fat and happy and basically started sucking ass. Okay. And so, and this movie is sci-fi. It's a sci-fi action thriller, which is a genre I really like. and it's from Gareth Evans, who already had a lot of goodwill built up with me. Okay, he had a lot of credit built up with me from Godzilla in 2014, his Godzilla movie with Bryan Cranston, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Elizabeth Olsen, before Elizabeth Olsen was, known as Scarlet Witch, right? Way before that. Then Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Personally, my favorite Star Wars movie since Return of the Jedi. I know some Star Wars fans are, oh my God, what, the prequels, oh my God, just freaking out. And to them, I say, keep freaking the fuck out. I'm right, you're wrong. Okay. Okay. You enjoy your Rey and your Jar Jar Binks and your Colonel Nux or what's his nuts or who's Oscar Isaac and all those characters, in J.J. Abrams' Star Wars movie. I will take Rogue One, a Star Wars story, just because it just had that cool edge to it, right? It didn't have that kind of the corniness from the recent Star Wars movies that we're seeing, from the Disney flavor of Star Wars, or most of the Disney flavor of Star Wars there. Let me check the live chat here. I see Agent X6 and We Are the Show is in the live chat there. Thank you for joining. Good to see you guys joining me, showing some support there. Misa, Jar Jar Binks. Yes, I got Agent X6 in there. It's Misa. Yeah, how annoying did that get after about a minute when you first saw Phantom Menace? You're just like, oh boy, it's the first Star Wars movie in 16 years, man. I can't wait. This is gonna rock. This is so great. All right, let's get ready, everybody. And all of a sudden you just hear Misa. Oh, I like it. Me. Oh, Anakin. Oh, Andy. Oh, Missy. You're like, oh my God, I want to blow my fucking brains out already. Really? And then you had to try to ignore the Misa for the rest of the movie. And then obviously they heard the valid complaints, and Misa was very hard to find in the next two prequel movies right there. So but Agent X6, yep. Thanks for reminding me of that. But yeah, thanks a lot, guys, for joining me here in the show. And that definitely any comments, any questions what you have, by all means, let me know. But yeah, so the originality of this movie really meant a lot to me. And a movie can't just be original but suck. No, it's got to be original and be good. And so it's got some good. It tries to be emotional. Okay, it's got some emotional beats to it that it tries to hit. It doesn't quite land though. Okay. If this movie is a high diver off a high diving board and it's trying to jump or dive into a swimming pool of emotion, it kind of does a belly flop into that swimming pool of emotion. I mean, you could see what it was trying to do, but just doesn't land. And I really wish it would have landed, because then it would have made this movie that much better. Okay. But they did try. Now, the character of Alfie, the little 6-year-old girl, the AI ultimate weapon in this, they do try their hardest to use her to get the tears flowing, to get the heartstrings pulled. And that little actress that plays her, is it Madeleine? Let me go to my cheat sheet here, because she's got a hell of a name. Let's see here. What do we got here? Madeleine Yuna Voyles. Yep, Yuna Voyles. Madeleine Yuna Voyles, I don't know how old she is in real life, but she plays a 6-year-old character in this movie. And for her first movie, man, she knocks it out of the park. I mean, you clearly can see she's AI, right? She's an AI robot or AI creation. But the way she acts in this movie, you start caring about this AI character. Okay, because she acts like this cute little girl, little innocent little girl. I mean, underneath, she's this ultimate AI weapon that can control all technology. Well, is going to be able to control all technology throughout the world, from anywhere in the world. Okay, the way the movie tells it, she could be in Nepal, and she could control a computer over in New York City. Okay, or a a nuclear facility, if it's online or something like that, or maybe maybe it's not online, if it's if it's got an integrated circuit or something hooked electrically, right? That's a word. Yeah. And so she's supposed to be this ultimate AI weapon as she gets older and older and older. But you wouldn't know that because she's just like this cute little character, okay, named Alfie. And so they use her to, really try to earn some emotional points. And I guess maybe I'm just too hard-hearted. I'm just too calloused. It's maybe I just got a heart of stone, and I don't have an emotional bone in my body. Well, I know that's not true because I always blubber like a little bitch when I watch The Green Mile or Field of Dreams. So I know that's not true. Apparently we have some terrorism going on at the We Are the Show residence right there. We Are the Show's cat is fucking up his leather chair. Oh my God. You know what? Yeah, if the leather chair gets scratched up, as we all know, the terrorists win. Okay, so I say We Are the Show, go all Patriot Act on that cat, man. Okay, go. You have my authorization right there. It's she's out now. Okay. Woo, boy, I'll tell you. Yeah, when your cat shows up, on your lap, and your cat's got like a S vest, like a suicide vest on, run. Especially if instead of meowing, she goes, "Come on!" Yeah. So what else? What else can I say about this movie? This movie is it's one thing that kind of cracked me up in this is so when they go on the mission, okay, John David Washington, Denzel Washington's kid, goes on the mission to try to find this AI ultimate weapon, and the troops are all on this this troop carrier, right, flying up in the air, and they're all they're all giving each other shit and just hobnobbing and shit, and it kind of reminded me of the Marine squad on Aliens, where they're just just giving each other shit and whatnot, getting ready for the impending battle. But they're flying over to New Asia to go on this dangerous mission. And what's the music they use to try to pump themselves up? Radiohead. Okay. Radiohead. I don't think any badass troops, anyone in the military is cranking up the Radiohead to get pumped up to go on this killer mission, right? You're playing some AC/DC or some Metallica, or some Tupac or something like, to get you pumped up, to get you fucking ready to kill, right there. You're not Radiohead. I mean, what were they out of Wilson Phillips? I mean, come on. But now that being said, now for us viewing the movie, it added some atmosphere, to that scene and kind of let you know, okay, this is the vibe of this movie. This movie is kind of going for kind of an ethereal kind of theme. But it just, yeah, it stretched the realm of reality. I mean, you go off with some troops going in Iraq and Afghanistan or something like that, and yeah, they're not rocking the Radiohead. Okay, they're rocking AC/DC or Drowning Pool or Seven Dust or something like that. So that was hilarious. Now, like I said, I like this movie, but apparently this movie didn't appeal to a whole lot of people, okay? The creator had itself a bad case of the Mondays over last weekend because it got itself a old-fashioned, homegrown, grade A USDA choice ass-kicking at the paws of Paw Patrol 2, and then also got curb stomped by some guy named Jigsaw, in some movie called Saw 10, or as some people are calling it incorrectly, Saw X, Roman numerals, everybody, Saw 10. And so, yeah, the creator just, I mean, I think the marketing for this movie was pretty shitty, okay? I mean, because I don't watch a whole lot of regular TV, but from what I'm hearing from people that do, like, I don't watch the NFL anymore. I watch college football, though. I don't remember seeing any commercials on CBS, NBC, ESPN, Big Ten Network for this movie at all. Maybe the creator, maybe there's a lot of trailers for it during NFL or your regular show, like, on the Sci-Fi channel or whatever. I don't know, but it just didn't seem like there was a whole lot of marketing for this movie. And obviously that's going to affect how many people turn out for it, okay? Because it's not like Barbie 2 came out this weekend. It's not like a new Marvel movie came out. It's Paw fucking Patrol 2 and Saw 10, okay? But I also, what probably worked against it is, it is not part of any kind of kid franchise like Paw Patrol 2. It's not part of a franchise like the Saw movie was. And a lot of times people are afraid. They're afraid to try something new, okay? Now, which is kind of pathetic because, I mean, remember, back in the 19th century, Americans were leaving the East Coast in Conestoga wagons or however you say that, right? Conestoga wagons to head west, right? Go west, young man. Manifest destiny. They're jumping in Conestoga wagons and heading west to seek their fame and fortune, or seek prosperity. Go find gold. So they're heading out west in Conestoga wagons with horses and oxen and braving Indian attacks and weather and being killed in the cold and all that shit. Like real like ingenuity, like not ingenuity, but like what kind of bravery. Good old American backbone and courage and whatnot. And now we can't even get people like get off their ass to go see a movie that they're not familiar with. America, we're fucked. A lot of people just didn't want to go see the movie, and I get it. Another piece of that is, you only got so much time, and when you got Rugrats, your Rugrats are probably aren't going to be like, Daddy, take me to that creator movie. No, they're probably like, I want to go see Paw Patrol 2, and I want to see some puppies. Oh, yay! So, and now I hope your kids aren't begging you to go see Saw 10 because you've done some shitty parenting, and you need to take your fucking little kid to counseling. Daddy, I want to go see Jigsaw rip some people in half. Yay! Holy shit. Can you say future psychopath? You want to get that kid in a padded room right now. Okay, so all right. Hey, I've been working hard, man. I'm gonna give me a little drinky drink. Well, if I had any parents in the live chat in the crowd, they probably lost them now after that last take. We Are the Show. You didn't even hear this movie was out, likely because I don't do TV no more. Yeah, exactly. I mean, if that's the case, you're not going to see any advertisements for it. I doubt this is the kind of movie where they're putting billboards up. When I'm surfing Al Gore's worldwide interweb, I'm not seeing the creator pop up ads or ads on the side of X or wherever I'm at. Come to think about it, I can't even remember how I even heard about this movie. I mean, so I go to like websites, obviously, since I'm a movie reviewer, and I'm like, hey, what's the movies that are coming out? So obviously that would be how I found out, but not everyone does that, right? So you wouldn't know. Yep. We Are the Show. People still go west to seek fame and fortune. You can find them in fishnets, missing teeth, leaning into cars in LA. Yeah, exactly right there. So yeah, and they never look like Julia Roberts on Pretty Woman. Hell no. And then after they do that job there, We Are the Show, then they usually get hired for like a Biden cabinet position. They're usually get hired to be like the assistant administrator for nuclear studies or something like that. The secretary of transportation or something. So making money and spreading AIDS. Absolutely. So yeah, there you go. There's a bumper sticker right there. Making money and spreading AIDS. Yeah. Absolutely. But so this movie, the marketing for it sucked. Okay. So a lot of people didn't even hear about the creator. Not at all here. Let me handle a little housekeeping over here. Yep, there we go. All right, fascinating. I know, fascinating, everybody right there. Let's break things up, Everett. Let's break things up. Let's get a little knowledge in your brain. A little knowledge in your brain. Let me let you guys know all about something here, and that is, as I get my ducks in a row. All right, that is TDPN.locals.com, everybody. Yeah, as I go into my radio DJ Voss, TDPN.locals.com. The barometric pressure is 70 and the temperature is 104. We've got the light winds coming from the north here, and the traffic is heavy on the Interstate 35. All right. And I don't know why I'm doing this. Enough of that shit. So TDPN.locals.com. That's where we have all our great content, like videos and blogs and articles, all about movies and entertainment, politics, hot button issues. Sean puts cocktail recipes on there. We get music related content there from Sean as well. And it's great stuff to go and check out to occupy your time. Okay, so if you're ever stuck somewhere and you need something, highly entertaining, massively entertaining to pass away the time, to make the voices in your head go away, well, go to tdpn.locals.com and check out all our great Till Death Podcast Network content. Okay. Now, as you would imagine, I have the movies and entertainment content out there. And I have this new feature called Movies America Mad Libs out there that is going to let you flex your creative muscles. And I'll tell you a lot more about that later on. But as you can see down below, if you go to tdpn.locals.com and put in promo code TDPN, as in Till Death Podcast Network, you're going to get 1 month free. That's gratis. 1 month free membership. And that's plenty long enough to check out a lot of the content that we have out there, including the Movies America Mad Libs that I'll tell you about a little later on. And then after that 1 free month, that's like $3 a month minimum. Okay, that's nothing. $3 a month. $3 a month might get you one of those people that are seeking fame and fortune heading out west that We Are the Show was talking about, that wearing the fishnet stockings and missing the teeth. That might get you about 5 minutes with them, $3 right there. So if you don't want to spend your $3 on those freakazoids out in LA, spend it on something more worthwhile, like tdpn.locals.com. All right. So yeah, definitely check that out. Okay. Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. Don't be the one that misses out on that. Okay. All right. tdpn.locals.com. All the cool kids are going there. Absolutely. Okay. You know what? Let's check something out here. Let's hear straight from the director of the creator, okay? Because enough hearing from me, you're gonna take my word for it about this movie. I mean, when you could be checking out from the director, the actual director of this movie. I mean, come on, let's check that out. So let me get it. All right, let's get that big and bold and ready for action. All right, so let's get over here and let's play. This is Gareth Edwards. He's the director of the creator. I don't know why I keep saying it. The creator. And he also directed, like I said, Godzilla from 2014. He directed a movie called Monsters before that. It's kind of like a small budget movie that's pretty good. Check that out, Monsters. And then after he did Godzilla in 2014, again, he did Rogue One, a Star Wars story with that awesome Darth Vader scene towards the end there where he's taking motherfuckers out. Okay. So yeah, Gareth Edwards. And of course, obviously his latest movie is The Creator. So let's get it on.
Well, one of the things I discovered whilst making this film, which is an amazing resource, is Pinterest. Couldn't live without it now. Sid Mead, was a big design influence in terms of the world building, with the designer from Blade Runner. Ralph McQuarrie, who was the main designer for Star Wars. Akira was a big influence. And weirdly, Sony products from the 80s and 90s. Like as if we went back in time and it's the future of the 1980s and early 90s there.
Hey, everybody, who had a Walkman like they just showed there? Walkman back in the 80s? Am I the only one? I had a Walkman back in the 80s. That tells you how old I am. I had a Walkman, and Sony boom boxes and all that stuff. So pretty cool. But anyway, but I digress.
Is kind of represented in this film. Paper Moon, Rain Man, A Perfect World, the Kevin Costner film. And then there's a film from the UK called The Hit with Tim Roth, which is about them taking this guy to be assassinated, and they go on this journey across Europe.
Tim Roth, of course, from Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs. Okay, so Pulp Fiction, he was, I love you, honey bunny. Yeah, old Tim Roth. Love that actor. Also played the bad guy in The Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton. So.
And they start to like him, and they don't know what they're going to do, if they're going to kill him or not. The cost of building a set, like on a typical movie like this, is like, say, 200 grand to build a set. And if you get your crew small enough, it's cheaper to fly them anywhere in the world than it is to build a set. And so once you get it to that size, you start to be able to go, well, where's the best place in the entire world that we could set this scene? We actually did that and went to all these real locations around the world to film at. Quite often on a movie, when it's got a heavy visual effects component, other people who don't do visual effects will decide what you're going to build, where you're going to go location-wise, and what's going to be done in post-production. And they're kind of the least equipped people to make those decisions.
Yeah, those are like the bean counters, the studios, the studio heads. They're just like, who lack any kind of creative talent. That's why they're bean counters. That's why they're the suits, because their creative skills suck. Their creative skills are in the toilets. Their creative skills were good, they'd be doing what Gareth Edwards is doing.
And usually the visual effects people at the end of the process are like, why didn't you just, and why couldn't you just, and how come we're, there's a lot of like complaints you hear. And so having a visual effects background, you can go, that's really, really hard to do in the computer. It's way easier if we just go here and shoot this. And then vice versa, someone will go, oh, we've got to go here and do that. No, we don't have to do any of that. We can stick that in the computer really easy. And
that's one thing you notice in this movie. You notice that they do go on location because it really has that organic feel, that real feel to it. You can tell it's not the green screen, the blue screen, like you see in a lot of Marvel and DC movies, Star Wars movies, especially like the Star Wars series. It seems like they have a new Star Wars series out like every 17 seconds, right? Same with Marvel there. And you can tell in those movies, when you compare them to the movies of yesteryear, where there was no green screen, right? You can tell the movies of yesteryear, and with the creator right here, you can tell that, it's just got that organic, natural, visceral feeling to it because it's filmed on location. You can't quite smell the outdoors and the wilderness and the real location. They don't have that kind of technology quite yet, but you can tell. And it really makes a difference. And obviously, as Gareth Edwards is saying right here, it makes things a lot cheaper. You kind of do a little guerrilla filmmaking with a smaller crew.
I hope the one thing we gained was like an efficiency of like stuff we're doing in front of the camera versus stuff we're leaving to visual effects. Was like that divide was like quite rational. Like it felt like the right balance,
Excellent.
Well, one of the things.
There we go. Don't need to watch that again. But yeah, I just wanted to, get a little perspective from the director of the creator himself. And because, he's always going to have the best insight to obviously his own movie, right? And it's kind of fascinating in the case of movies, to kind of see how the sausage is made, right? It actually makes the movie a little bit more interesting and intriguing when you hear stories about how it's made, kind of get the inside stuff, that kind of thing. Let me check out the live chat because, man, I'm seeing some good activity out here. So, and of course we can't forget Agent X6 with making money and spreading AIDS. Yep, I said that before. And of course we get a in here. Absolutely. I hear you. We are the show. Yeah, I wish I would have kept my boombox as well. I remember like back in the 80s. I was back when boombox was really big. I was still in junior high, and it was just a contest of who could have the biggest boombox? Who had the biggest boombox? Like, and who would bring the biggest boombox to school? Okay, I remember having like boombox size envy. Okay, I mean, you just get these massive ones, and I saw one that didn't have like 2 cassette players; it had 4 cassette players, and you get the ones with the big old speakers on them, and it just the EQs on them, the volume knobs. I mean, all this shit, and it just became this pissing contest with boomboxes back in the day. It cracks me up thinking back to then, and then now people are like, how small can I get my music player? Okay, so if my music player is about that big, I win. Okay, where I'm back in the 80s, like my music player's got to be this fucking big, because the 80s was the decade of excess, right? Okay, and now we're in the age of I want a little player, a little tiny music player, so small, So, but hey, it's true. I mean, lugging around a boombox is a lot harder than lugging around your iPhone or your Android or whatever. So, absolutely. Beer drinking Trev. Look at me creating some content with the creator. Exactly. I can take a hint from the title, the creator. I'm creating. I'm over here doing what I do. Okay, so absolutely. So I appreciate you noticing that, beer drinking Trev. Absolutely. The money that they want for a TRC 921 these days is insane, especially one in decent shape. Yeah. So. Yeah, it's obviously it's like Rod Stewart said, I wish I knew now what I knew back then, or I wish I knew then back what I know now, something like that. So I'm pulling a George W. Bush right now and hosing up a familiar phrase there, because there's all kinds of shit I would have kept. I mean, boom boxes, cassette tapes, man, what. Shit, like even like VHS rewinders someday are probably going to be worth a whole lot of money. I mean, remember, VHS tapes for rewinders and stuff. I mean, all kinds of stuff. It's kind of funny harkening back to that. Back to the good old days there. So, what else we got? So, I mean, this movie with the creator, it has, of course, John David Washington starring in it as Joshua Taylor, I think, is the main character's name here in this, played again by John David Washington, Denzel Washington's son. And now you guys probably know John David Washington from Tenet, that came out from Christopher Nolan back in 2020, I believe. So it came out like smack dab, hip deep, right in the middle of the pandemic. And so Tenet made about $7 at the box office because it came out, during the time where even people that you think are a sensitive or sensible people, that's even back then, where people were like, oh my God, I don't want to go to the movies. I'm going to fucking die. COVID's going to kill me. All right, I'm going to watch this movie. And then it's going to be 5 minutes into the movie, I'm going to drop dead from COVID. Like, people just fucking freaking out. Okay. So, and so of course, hardly anybody went to go see Tenet with our man here, with John David Washington in this. But this movie obviously doesn't have that same problem with the COVID pandemic and all that. Pardon me. So he is. I was not impressed with his performance in this. He's just so stiff, okay, and so stilted and so uptight. The guy definitely needs to loosen up. And he, like I said in my spoiler-free review, he needs to take some tips from his dad. Okay, it's not like he doesn't have the genes to be a good actor. He's got the pedigree. I mean, his dad is Denzel fucking Washington, right? But he would really be wise to take a look at some of his dad's performances, like The Hurricane, Training Day. Training Day would have been a great movie of his dad's to watch for this movie, because Denzel kills it in that movie. He's so loose, right? So loose in that movie. He just doesn't give a fuck. He's is out there. He's just bringing it. He's giving Ethan Hawke all kinds of shit, and he's just deadly in that movie, right? And he's not holding anything back. I mean, he's not too uptight in Training Day. Glory would be another good movie right there, same way, where he doesn't have this pretension about him. He's not worried about like people are going to think I'm cool in this role. No, Training Day, Glory, Denzel Washington, in The Hurricane, wasn't worried about that. He's a consummate actor where he's not afraid to be vulnerable, playing a role, and just looking dumb or looking vulnerable, looking silly, looking pitiable. And that's what you got to be as an actor. And John David Washington in Tenet and in this movie has not shown that he's willing to do any of that stuff. He's always trying to be too cool for the room and stiff and stodgy and just needs to loosen the fuck up. And because he's so rigid and uptight in this role, the way he delivers some of the lines in this movie is just so awkward, okay? And so awkward. So I mean, it just makes you. Yeah, because I said that because I realized, and I know this is Denzel Washington's kid. Okay, did his dad not bring his work home with him and help his kid, learn how to be a better actor? I mean, and again, he doesn't even have to like watch his dad's movies. He's got his dad right there to show him how to act. But my guess is that maybe he's just trying to be a different actor than his dad, which I respect. But that doesn't mean you have to suck, okay? You want to be different, but be different in a good way, okay? And maybe he'll get better as, I mean, obviously you tend to get better the longer you do something. And so maybe we'll see John David Washington get better in his movies, and he just won't continue.
She's gone from suck to blow.
Yeah, he'll get better, and he won't elicit that kind of response with the movie there. So yeah, get some good interactions over here in live chat here on Rumble, and don't see any live chat over here on YouTube, which is not a bad thing because Rumble is where it's at. Okay, all right. Again, like I always say, Rumble is the house you go to on Halloween, which is coming up pretty soon. The house you go to on Halloween where they got the kick-ass Halloween rock music playing and all the lights everywhere. You got the fun dad dressed up as a werewolf jumping out at you from behind the bushes. And for the candy. They're giving out like full-size candy bars and shit, to like, hey, we'll give you a second one. That's cool. Like the best fucking house in the neighborhood to go trick-or-treating at, right? That's Rumble. YouTube is the house you go to, and the guy opens up the door, and he's wearing a V-neck sweater, and he's smoking a pipe, and he's like, I don't know how they come there for you. Here, I've got something better. Have some floss. Yes. And here's a brochure for dentistry. Yes, okay. No candy for you, young man. Okay. That's YouTube. That house is fucking YouTube right there. Okay. So yeah, definitely check me out on Rumble. Okay. Now YouTube, I'm on YouTube because I like to use YouTube to draw people in. And then once I draw them in, when I get them on my hook, I like to say, get the fucking Rumble. What are you doing on YouTube? Okay, so yeah, YouTube is good for being used and abused like yesterday's hoa. Yesterday's hoa. You know what? YouTube's going to be a bunch of dipshits. Hey, you know what? They're getting used. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Where were we? Well, where we were is me getting a drink. Okay, because, this is hard work, everybody. Oh, damn work. Hey, and everybody let me know what you're drinking. If you guys drinking, hopefully you guys are, because like I said, it's almost a weekend. Hope you guys are kicking fucking back. And drinking up some beer, maybe doing some shots, maybe someone's going crazy and having cement mixers. I don't know who. Okay. All right. So, or maybe doing some beer pong or something like that. That's cool. Absolutely. So yeah, let me know what you're drinking. Absolutely. Okay, because I want to hear about it. Do I want to hear about it?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. And all right, let's move on. You know what? Now, I thought a lot about this movie. Like, I thought in depth and kind of on a more philosophical level about the creator. Okay. But I have got nothing on my man, Steve Dace. Okay. I don't know if you guys know who Steve Dace is, but Steve Dace he's a political commentator, and he's got his own show on The Blaze, and his show is fantastic. I would definitely check him out because he's very conservative. Okay. He's what a lot of people would consider very hard right, but he's very hard right in a way where he likes to blend his opinions with like pop culture. He was a big Star Wars guy. He likes DC and Marvel movies, and he likes sports, NFL, college football, whatever. Okay, he's not Mark Levin. Okay, he's not somebody like that where they're kind of just all business, no fun. He puts the fun in fundamental politics. Okay, and it's the Steve Day Show. Check it out. It's on Rumble. There, and it's fucking hilarious. I'm a big Michigan Wolverines football fan, and so he has a Michigan Wolverines show, and so I discovered him off of that show. And then someone said, "Hey, Steve Dace has a political show," so I checked that out. I'm like, "Holy shit, this guy's got a political show!" And I agree with like 85% of what he has to say, and the guy's fucking hilarious. And he's headquartered in my home state of Iowa, so yeah, definitely check that out. But again, that's enough Steve Dace introductory talk. Okay, the reason I brought him up is because he went out and he saw the creator, okay? And as you'll see in this video, since he thought about it and he spotted some things and he extracted some things from this movie that I didn't, okay, because apparently he's a much deeper thinker than I am, in particular about, the creator, he didn't really enjoy it too much, and you will see that, but I don't want to like give away the ending here, but you'll see.
I wasn't going to see this movie because when I watched the trailer, I suspected this was heavily sacrilegious. And then I saw the reviews, and I thought, the reviews are saying this movie is really good. It's a movie made by Gareth Edwards, who did what a lot of people think is the only good Star Wars movie that's been done since Return of the Jedi, Rogue One. Or at least it's the best Star Wars movie that's been done since Return of the Jedi. Now, there's a lot of talk that Gareth Edwards' version of Rogue One wasn't up to snuff and people had to come in and basically fix the movie. Like the Darth Vader hallway scene, the corridor scene there got added later which is one of the greatest scenes in Star Wars history, by the way. Okay. Nevertheless, we all agree Rogue One is a triumph, correct? We all agree?
Yes.
Okay. And he, on some level, had a heavy hand in the making of that movie. And this is his first big budget follow-up, and the movie is called The Creator. And
I should have mentioned, so it's been 7 years since Gareth Edwards did Rogue One, so he had a hell of a break between obviously Rogue One and the creator right here. So, but I think they started developing the creator back in 2019, but obviously because of China releasing this virus on the world and the pandemic and all that, it got delayed. But all right, let's get back to Stevie Boy here.
The reviews on it were claiming, this was Dune level of science fiction, one of the best movies of the year. So I thought, okay, let's go check it out.
It is not Dune level science fiction.
Lions aren't playing this Sunday because we already played Thursday night, so let's go take a look. To quote the great prophet Denny Green, they are who we thought they were. The movie is exactly what I suspected it was watching the trailer. It's very well made, but it is a blatantly propagandist deconstruction of Western civilization. Blatantly. I mean, to the point that the baddies are driving driving military gear that says U.S. Army on it. I mean, it's just blatant. If I didn't know any better, I would have thought Yuval Harari, in concert with the CCCP, wrote this script. Here's the basics of this transhumanist apologetic work. We're about 40 years into the future, and AI went rogue and dropped a nuclear bomb on Los Angeles, prompting
Which definitely would solve the homeless problem, of course.
the Western powers to declare war on all AI and all AI harboring nations, which just so happen to be all the ones in the East. Okay? And this war has gone on for at least 5 years. The West has created like a super weapon that allows them at any point in the planet to undetected, when they find a pocket of AI resistance, to take it out. And the Eastern cultures,
That super weapon he's talking about, it's called Nomad in the creator. And it's this thing that basically it's like this space station kind of thing that can launch nuclear missiles from anywhere in the sky, undetected mostly. And it's got like this laser targeting system, and it's a dead ringer for the Death Star. Okay, so it's Gareth Edwards' take on the Death Star, but it's called Nomad, is what he's talking about in this movie right here.
because they're not bogged down by things like a god, right? They're not bogged down by anything transcendent. In fact, at one point in this movie, the actual creator of the AI, who's a woman, by the way, of course, a woman is the creator. The female creator is actually she is being worshipped and harbored in a Buddhist temple. I mean, why don't we just in crayon like circle the points and stuff? Why don't we try to make this even more obvious for you? See, Buddhism is atheism, by the way. Buddhists are atheists. They won't.
Just a quick squirrel moment for you. I love the Ruth Bader Ginsburg pro-life hero sticker he's got on the back of his iMac there. Love it.
Won't tell you that they are. They won't. But if you look at their religion, they're atheists. They don't believe in any form of a transcendent creator. They're atheists. So, Eastern traditions, not bogged down by patriarchal and oppressive traditional Judeo-Christian thought, but more flexible, more humanistic, are much more willing and able to incorporate the new transhumanist species, because now the AI you can sell your likeness so that via three-dimensional printing, the laser, the AI can actually look human, have human faces and features, and not just take robotic form. And the Eastern cultures, not bogged down with ideas of a transcendent God and that is holy and set apart, but much more panentheistic and pantheistic, because we're all part of the circle of life here, even the non-living. They're much more able to ingratiate and embrace and incorporate the new transhumanist species into their great circle of life, as opposed to these just outdated thinkers in the West. All of the Western civilization figures, all of the human beings that are Homo sapiens, are all depicted as deeply flawed and or immoral, which is biblical. We are deeply flawed and immoral, right?
It's almost like, hearing this, it does bring those things to mind, and he's right. I mean, when you think about it, it's kind of more of a subconscious woke to this movie. Okay, it's not blatant woke, like no one goes off on like a 27-minute woke monologue like America Ferrara does on the Barbie movie. It's not that in your face. It's not, they tried to have a little bit more, not a little bit, a lot more subtlety to it. And that's the kind of movies you have to look out for. Obviously, you need to look out for the movies where the woke is like just in your face. It's like, where the woke is basically just a pile of dog shit, like as obvious as a pile of dog shit on your carpet, right? Those movies, you got to look out for those movies. But those movies are easy to look out for. Movies like The Creator, it does kind of have that more subliminal, subconscious woke to it, where I think in and of itself, I mean, if you just were to watch The Creator and get this subliminal wokeness thrown at you from watching just the creator, yeah, you're not going to be some blue-haired social justice warrior in 5 minutes. But if you watch enough of these movies, and Hollywood does have plenty of these movies with subliminal wokeness to them, eventually it's going to have an effect. And it's going to have an effect. The next thing you know, yeah, you are going to be that fat, pimple-faced, blue-haired yelling at the Supreme Court justices in D.C., like, ah! Like screaming about diversity. So, yeah, so he's got a good point. Like, these movies need to be watched out for as well.
Except the transhumanist species are the ones that are depicted as empathetic, wise, infallible, while humans are extremely fallible. They're the next step in evolution. They're what we should aspire to. This is even embodied in the main character played by Denzel Washington's son, who achieves, I guess we'll call it, salvation by sacrificing himself on behalf of the transhumanists at the end of the film.
That'd be John David Washington's Joshua character, sacrificing himself to save Alfie, the little 6-year-old girl from Nomad, because, of course, they go up to Nomad, and in order to save AI and all AI supporters from being nuked by Nomad, they go up to Nomad, kind of like, the rebel force going out to take out the Death Star, but in this case, it's just a couple of people trying to do it. And yeah, he sacrifices himself at the end there. Like I said, spoiler warning. That's part of the show. That's the name, part of the name of the show. Okay, there. But that's who he's referring to there.
And I could go on, but there is absolutely nothing redeemable about this movie at all. It is rated PG-13 for profanity, but really it is extremely profane, if you understand the original definition of that term. It's extremely profane. West is bad. Western civilization, bad. East is good. Civilizations still clinging to their Bibles and notions of a transcendent creator who is set apart from his creation, bad. Cultures who embrace pantheism, the circle of life, we're all one. Even the new transhumanist species are good.
And when you think transhumanism, at least I do, I think Elon Musk, he's a big transhumanist. Jeff Bezos, just what they want to do, like what Elon Musk, he wants to do that thing where he wants to put that shit like in everyone's head. I think his main selling point for that is, well, we could put this thing in your head, and then when you're going through pain, we could send signals to your brain where you don't feel pain. If you have some kind of disease, we can use it to send something to your red blood cells. There's a blah blah blah. The typical selling point that a fucking megalomaniac would fucking use to try to get everyone to put something in their fucking head when it's got a bomb in it somewhere. Of course, nice try, Elon. But yeah, he's one of the biggest. He's like probably the most famous transhumanist out there with that shit. So, Elon, you crafty, sneaky little bastard.
This is the most articulate marketing campaign for transhumanism you have seen yet. That's exactly what it is. This is an apologetic. This is just like this is to transhumanism what Cider House Rules was to abortion, where Michael Caine's abortion doctor is the hero. This is an apologetic for the transhumanist agenda, straight up. And despite the great glowing reviews the movie has, because it's made by Disney, that seems to be all they do nowadays, it's flopped.
That is true. He does not lie. That movie has flopped and made like $14 million. Its first weekend there, $14 million domestic. And like I said, it came in third behind Paw Patrol 2 and Saw 10. and then worldwide it didn't, or like internationally didn't make much more than that. But this he apparently was not a big fan of the movie because he thought deeper about it and on a more existential level than I did. And I mean, this is a thought-provoking movie, and I did find myself thinking about like the same themes I did after watching AI, the artificial intelligence movie from Steven Spielberg 22 years ago. Everybody, AI with Haley Joel Osment, cashing in on that Sixth Sense fame back when Haley Joel Osment was still a little kid. Then I thought the same things about that. About can you, if you do find yourself starting to love something that clearly is not real, like an android or an AI robot or something like that, do you just give yourself over to it, or do you go off of what you know in your brain, okay, and you don't give yourself over to it, that kind of thing. We are the show. Good point. The woke always pulls him out of whatever he's watching. Ruined the Wednesday series for him, despite loving the art style. Yeah, I don't think I must not have gotten far enough into Wednesday to get the woke part of it, because I watched about 2 or 3 episodes, and then I lost interest in it right there. But I did hear that also, as well from others, that it just became a woke joke, just seeped in there. They got like an infection, right? They try to draw you in, like, ooh, it's a good show. I'm very entertained. And then they start the lecture. That's when they want you to bust out your notepad and your pen and start taking notes, all right? Because they got some lecturing to do, and you got some learning to do, and they're just the people, okay? Because God knows the truths about life, who you want to teach you those? Hollywood. Yeah, because no one is more intellectually dominant and cerebral than entertainers, than adult pretenders. Yeah, there you go. That's who I always want to go to for existential truth. Absolutely. Yep, exactly. Good point, Agent X6. The studios need to get those sweet ESG scores. Yes, they do. And that's the thing. It's like the ESG thing, the World Economic Forum, like, who the fuck made these guys boss, right? Okay. Like, why all of a sudden did this thing just get created? Okay, this group just got created, and then everyone just started going, you know what? This group, they created it. They got created. This group apparently wants us to dance to their tune. So, you know what? Hey, everybody, just because they want us to dance to their tune and do whatever they want, let's just start doing it. Like, how did that happen? Why did that happen? Why didn't everyone go, oh, you want us to do these things to get a high score, this score that you made up? You want us to change the way we do things with our company to get a high version of this score that you just fucking made up? Yeah, go fuck yourself, okay? Who the fuck do you think you are? You're going to make us like dance for you? For this ESG score? Is that what you guys are calling it? ESG score? Go fuck yourself. No, we're not going to do that. Who the hell do you think you are? You're going to like make up something that we have to like adhere to just because you thought of it and you pulled it out of your ass? Like, that's what I don't get. Why didn't that happen? Why are all these companies like just giving themselves over, and rolling over like a dog to get its belly rubbed for the fucking World Economic Forum and the ESG score? But anyway, rant over about that. Agent X6, hey, good. Yeah, I appreciate you putting a name to that. Yeah, Neuralink. That's what Elon is trying to get in your head. Okay, he's trying. Well, I'd say he's trying to give you a head, but no, he's trying to get into your head with his Neuralink right there. And we the show. ESG seems to be more important than profit. The BlackRock investors have more sway than the audience. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's like, why are we kowtowing to these organizations? That's like if I all of a sudden said, all right, I'm creating the Movies Merica Foundation world. All right, Movies Merica Foundation. And I'm going to create this scoring system. I'm going to call it the OUGR. Yeah, the OUGR, the OGR score, the Ogre score. Okay, I'm going to call it the Ogre score. It doesn't stand for anything. I'm going to call it this Ogre score, and you have to do all these things to get a high Ogre score. Otherwise, I'm going to talk really, really bad about you. Okay, and to me, understandably, what would you guys say to me about that? You'd be like, go fuck yourself, Van. What the hell? Just go shove your Movies Merica Foundation right up your ass. What are you doing shit for you? That is the right reaction. Yes, I would be cheering you on. Yes, there you go. You got some balls. Absolutely. Why didn't we do that to the World Economic Forum? I just don't fucking know. Agent X6. Yep, and it's gotten into video games as well, not just movies and TV shows. Yeah. They're taking over institutions, and you know how they did it is they're obviously they have to hire people, they have to hire employees, right? And those employees are learning this shit where the communist indoctrination camps, otherwise known as colleges and universities. So they learn it there. They bring it to the video game companies, movie studios, the TV studios, the fucking from Coca-Cola. They work for Abercrombie and Fitch or whatever, Marmot, whatever company, right? I mean, they're getting hired there, and they're just like, you know what? Yeah, I know I got hired to this company, hired by this company to make widgets, but we should like make making widgets priority number 2 and getting a high ESG score priority number 1. Anyway. Absolutely. So a lot of kind of deep themes with the creator, and also it shows like how the government can be duplicitous, because you learn that the inciting incident in this movie, which is a nuclear detonation in LA that kills millions of people, of course. So that's inciting incident where it's pinned on AI. The humans say that AI are who nuked LA, and weirdly enough made LA look better. But but I digress. But yeah, so they say AI nuked LA. That made everyone in the West, in the United States, in the Western world, hate AI. Okay, but you learn later on in the movie that, well, it wasn't AI that nuked LA. It was a coding error on the part of human beings that caused the nuclear attack in LA, and the humans need somebody to pin it on. They're too embarrassed to admit that, hey, yeah, all right, coding error, my bad. I should have put a semicolon instead of a colon in the code, and it ended up nuking LA. Okay, so yep. Bye-bye, Santa Monica. Thanks to the fact that I put a semicolon in the code instead of a colon, whatever. They were too embarrassed to admit that, so they blamed it on AI. So the government was duplicitous, and that's one of the themes in this movie. And so, of course, that's going to make 9/11 conspiracy theorists drool over this movie when they eventually see it, okay? Because they sure as shit didn't see it this last weekend. 14 million people. Folks, 40 million people, $14 million people, I should say. It's, and like I said before, this movie tries to connect with you emotionally, but it just doesn't do the trick. Okay, it's think of a movie that you cry to, that you blubber to. I mean, Field of Dreams, The Green Mile, Dances with Wolves. I don't know, Remember the Titans, I guess. I don't know. I didn't, but people always quote that. Saving Private Ryan. Those are emotional movies. They hook into you emotionally. This movie tried to do that, but just couldn't pull it off, man. Just couldn't do it. Yeah, you know what? Hey, you know what? Let's break it up, okay? Because I feel kind of I'm in this routine, this rut in the show, and we need to mix it up. Like they say, if it ain't new, it's through, okay? And it's the perfect time, everybody, to get our drinky on And that is just the universe telling us it's time for brew review time. All right, absolutely. I take my cues from an intro and it being brew review time. And so tonight's lucky brew for you, if I can get there we go. Got this damn microphone arm in my way. The lucky brew for you tonight is one Lagunitas Maximus. Yes, Maximus Decimus Meridius from Gladiator. Yes. There you go. So, father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife, and his beer shall have its vengeance in this life or the next. Yes, it's Maximus. And Maximus comes to us from Lagunitas out of Petaluma, California. Okay, so they make good beer in California. Sierra Nevada is another good brewery in California. And this is just like an Imperial IPA, a double IPA, and it's like 9% alcohol by volume. So it packs a little bit of a punch for a beer. And yeah, like I said, it's like it gives you some good steady double IPA action. It's got like some Simcoe and Cascade hops, so very hoppy, but hoppy in a good way. Okay, because some double IPAs can overdo it. Okay, they just think, oh, we'll just put a shit ton of hops in this, and that's good, and that's all we got to do. We don't actually have to make it taste good. Maximus gets the job done. It gives you double the IPA, double the flavor. Yeah, it's just like that. Okay, so that probably made you not ever want to drink it now, but do that cheese. But yeah, I mean, if you like hip hop and you like a hoppy beer to go with your hip hop, if you're cranking out some Wu-Tang, and you want a little hoppy beer to go with your hip hop, by all means, check out some Lagunitas Maximus. And I'm not getting any money from Lagunitas or anything like that. Okay. And Lagunitas Maximus, it's not the most obscure beer. I'm sure pretty good chance you could probably find it, at some place in your town, unless you live in Mayberry or some other like one stoplight town. You're probably not going to be able to find it there in that town. You probably got nothing but Schlitz and Bud Light, so, but I'm losing all my small town viewers now. But if you can't find Lagunitas Maximus in your town, you can go to like gopuff.com or gopuff, like Puff, gopuff.com, or drizzly.com. That's DRIZLY, drizzly.com, and get it there. Those are kind of like the Amazon.com of booze. Okay. And check that out and get that. But if you want a hoppy beer to go with your hip hop, accept no substitute. Okay. Little Lagunitas Maximus. And you know what? Instead of yapping about it, let's get a little drink. If I don't drop it. Oh, yeah. So good. Got to save some for later. All right. But if you're not drinking coffee and water and you want yourself a little beer and whatnot, get yourself some Lagunitas Maximus. Absolutely. Okay. So, but like I always say, Movies America, that this is the home where movie reviews meets ice cold brews. And that's how we do that. That's why we have to have brew review time. We got to have it. Okay. Because I don't want to lie to you guys. Again, it's the home where movie reviews meet ice cold brews. And all right, that's been brew review time. Beer drinking Trev's cracking me up over here. Father to a murdered body, husband to a murdered hops, and I shall have my vengeance in this beer or the next. Yes. Yeah, Trev. You're bringing it, man. You're bringing it. Inspired, motherfucker. Inspired. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love that fire in the live chat tonight right there. So, and now, of course, I've got to watch Gladiator after I'm done here tonight. Okay, so thanks. I say that as if it's a labor. It's like it's tedious. Like it's a struggle to watch Gladiator. Fuck, I watch that movie like sometimes a week. What shall we do now, everybody? What should we do now? Should we do a little bit more the creator? I mean, let me know if you haven't seen the movie and you're listening to what I say, and you haven't minded getting it spoiled there for you, have I convinced you to go see this movie? I would definitely go check it out. Just despite what Steve Dace said and some of the knocks on it that I've said, my biggest knock is that it's just not as emotional, compelling that as I would like it to be. But despite that, it's still a pretty good movie, pretty entertaining. It looks fucking great. The visual effects in this movie look worlds better than what you see in like Thor: Love and Thunder, The Flash, Doctor Strange, and the fucking epic fucking mad multiverse motherfucking microwave burrito, whatever the fuck that movie was called. So much better than those movies. Those movies cost like 3-4 times what this movie costs. This movie costs $80 million. Okay. $80 million, everybody. $80 million. I mean, and the visual effects look chef's kiss. Fucking great. Okay. Oh, yep. Unfolding Joker. Korean film and TV is emotionally compelling. You're right. Unfolding Joker. And I mentioned a good Korean movie, a couple or a few episodes back in the World War Z episode, Train to Busan. Great Korean movie. Obviously, we had Parasite. Parasite won the fucking Best Picture Oscar a couple years ago. It's a Korean movie, okay? Bong Joon-ho. I always fuck up his name. Great Korean director. Oh, Snowpiercer, okay? After you guys are done watching this show, go watch Snowpiercer. It's a movie that is directed by a Korean director, but don't let that scare you. Okay, I know we're all we get the bad reputation of being ugly Americans. We only watch American shit. Okay, go watch Snowpiercer. It stars Chris Evans, obviously Captain America, right? But it's I don't think it has subtitles. Doesn't have subtitles. No, I think it's they speak English like they should, like everybody should. Everybody should speak English, right? That movie speaks English, even though it's directed by a Korean director, Snowpiercer. I'm not even going to tell you what it's about. Just go watch it. You have your orders. And if you've seen it already, let me know in the chat, man. Fucking Snowpiercer kicks ass. But see, Unfolding Joker, good job, Unfolding Joker. You got me distracted. There you go. Success. You did it, buddy. You did it. Good for you. Yeah. Would you wear a shoe on your head? Yeah. That doesn't mean anything to you now unless you've seen Snowpiercer. Okay, but yeah, it's a great action movie. I will say it's a great action suspense movie with some badass scenes, good gunplay, good fucking taut action. So it takes place in the future, and it's a great movie and whatnot. So Snowpiercer, check it out. Absolutely. Yeah, and some of the tech in The Creator is good. And that's another reason to go see it. Again, where I was going with that is let me know in the live chat if I've convinced you to go see the Creator if you haven't seen that. So, but yeah, another reason to go see The Creator is some of the tech in this movie is very deadly cool. They have the U.S. Army. They end up in New Asia, because New Asia is like China, Japan, Thailand, Indonesia in this movie. Okay, and New Asia is the area of the world that still embraces AI and humans still cohabitate with AI, and so the Western world, including the U.S. primarily, is going over to New Asia to eradicate AI because they have to put on this act that AI nuked LA, even though AI did not. The humans did it, but they have to put on this act that they did. And so they invade New Asia, and they go over there with like these tank-like things, okay? And on these tanks, they have this laser targeting shit where they laze their targets, whether it's a human or like it's like a AI robot or a human being or a boat full of AI robots and human beings or planes or whatever, and they laze their target. You could see the laser around the target. And then once you get lased with that target, no matter where you run and no matter how far you go, whether you hide behind a rock or hide in the basement or whatever, you're dead. You're dead because the missile that's locked onto you is going to get you. Going to get you. Okay. And so, like I said, deadly cool. in a fucked up kind of way, right? And then there's these bomb robots that they have where they just program in a countdown. They direct them, hey, run over there, okay? And they have these bomb robots that sprint to wherever you direct them to with a countdown, with a bomb countdown on them. They just sprint like fucking ISIS, into some unsuspecting or some poor bastard's house, and they just fucking detonate. Okay, bomb robots. They're fucking deadly bomb robots here that you'll see when you watch The Creator, which you definitely should go see. Okay. And I touched on it earlier. Nomad at the space station. So it's basically a space station / nuclear weapon WMD. And like I said, it's a knockoff of the Death Star, but it can move, like a ninja. It's very stealth in the sky, and then it just has like this laser targeting system that can lock on to wherever and just launches, just hits it with these nuclear missiles and whatnot. And it's visually, it's very cool in this movie. Definitely cool to check that out there. So We Are the Shows asked, is it in theaters or a service? I'm assuming you're talking about Snowpiercer. It's on streaming. So because it came out in 2012. It came out I think right after Captain America: The Winter Soldier, either right after or right before. And so it's a streaming service. You can find it there, or you can get a hard copy of it as well. Absolutely. So definitely check it out. What is the runtime on The Creator? It's 2 hours and 13 minutes. Unfolding Joker. Good question there. So, but interestingly enough, in this age where we have people constantly bitching about how long movies are, that movies are too long, this movie actually doesn't seem long enough because a lot of the edits in this movie are are too quick. They're too abrupt. And this movie probably would have had more of that emotional hook if they would have given the characters more time for you to get to know them. For instance, Joshua had a wife in this movie, and you don't get to spend enough time with him and his wife in this movie to even make you even give a shit about their relationship and what happened to his wife and what happens to him. You don't care. It's not like Jerry Maguire, right? Jerry Maguire, Tom Cruise, Renee Zellweger. They had this fun little romance and whatnot, and that movie made you like that couple, right? It's like I'm rooting for Jerry Maguire, and Renee Zellweger in this movie. Okay, I'm rooting for them because they're a fun little couple. You get to know them. They spend enough time with them, and you get to know them. I like this couple. I care about what happens to them. Not the case with Joshua and Maya is his wife's name. Not the case in The Creator because they don't dedicate enough time. So they should have made this movie longer to really flesh out that relationship right there. Unfolding Joker about Chris Evans before he was Captain Douche Nozzle. Before he became the woke dipshit that he is now. So I was gonna say, what is that? Lightyear. Yeah, that movie. I think that movie made even less than The Creator did last weekend. Just hilarious. All right. You know what? Let me tell you guys all about something here, because you guys are probably like, why aren't you guys telling me about? Why aren't you, Van? Why aren't you telling me about this great product that you talk about on your other episodes and that I've heard about? Tell me all about Nature Clear. Yes, Nature Clear recovery powder. And what is Nature Clear? Well, Nature Clear recovery powder. Totally got my shit together here, people. Totally got my shit together here, people. I had to reach it. This is what I was reaching for. Nature Clear. All right, let's get my shit straight here. Nature Clear recovery powder. Okay, Nature Clear recovery powder is this powder that you can take to avoid a hangover. Okay, so if you're drinking way too many Maximuses, okay, and you'd have to drink a whole lot of Maximuses to get a hangover because it's just beer, but it's possible. But if you want to drink as many Maximuses if that you want and not have to worry about a hangover, get yourself some Nature Clear recovery powder. Am I holding that up right? Yeah, I am. Okay. So yeah, get yourself some Nature Clear, and it's pretty easy to take. You just like put it in 12 ounces of water, or just your average bottle of water, and just shake it up and chug it down. If you want to make it even more flavorful, you can throw in some like lemon lime Mio in with it. And yeah, you just chug that bottle of Nature Clear before you head on out, and you can have all the beer, all the cement mixers, all the tequila shots you want. Okay, if you're out there and you're bouncing, at the dance club and whatnot, or you're at the nightclub and whatnot, and you don't want to have to worry about a hangover. You got yourself some Nature Clear, okay? And now, if you forget to take it before you go out, have no fear, everybody. Have no fear. Just take it when you get home, okay? And you're good to go. You're good to go. And so by now, of course, because I'm such a great salesman, you're asking, Van, how do I get my hands on this terrific product? Don't waste any time. Don't hesitate for one more second. Tell me how I can get my hands on that. Well, you know what? I aims to please, okay? And how you get your hands on this product is you click on the Nature Clear. Nature Clear. There we go. Nature Clear link in the description down below. There we go. And when you click on there, you just pick out whatever Nature Clear product or products that you want, get it in the cart, and then in the promo code field there, you put in movies. Okay, movies. Let me just say movies, because if I say movies, you're gonna be thinking I got to put in 7 O's in there. No, just put in movies, and then you get 25% off your next Nature Clear order. Man, pretty good, huh? Yeah, absolutely. All right, so that's been Nature Clear. Get yourself some. Don't think about it. Don't think about it. Just do it, okay? Do it. All the cool kids are doing it, and me too. All right. Okay, let's check out live chat. Make sure Unfolding Joker, exactly. Underrated film. Absolutely great underrated film. Yep, Unfolding Joker, I like. There you go. I'm picking up what you're putting down, man, about Snowpiercer. Absolutely. And hopefully we get some more people joining us here in the live chat. I want to see some Darksiders in here. I want to see some more folks from We Are the Show. Yeah, get on in here. Tell your friends. The Unfolding Joker, I think you're spreading the word on Gab, right? So I appreciate that. And I'm on Gab too. Check me out on Gab. Good place to find out where you can get in connection with this show and my spoiler-free reviews as well on Gab. And I'm on Gab under, wait for it, it's going to be really complicated, all right, on how to find me on Gab. It's at Movies Merica. I know. Really tough, really difficult, okay? Very difficult. So, all right. You know what? I've been waiting for this because it's my favorite segment of the show, okay? And that is the movie military moment. And you know what? Just in case we have some newbies here watching or listening or watching the recording later on, okay? And again, even if you're watching the recording or listening to this here, again, send the link to the show to any friends, family that you even remotely, even a little bit think might be interested in this show. That'd be fantastic, okay? But I think they're going to really like this segment. It's called the Movie Military Moment. And what this segment is basically me just honoring Congressional Medal of Honor winners, okay? Servicemen and women that have won the Congressional Medal of Honor. And obviously they have done that in service of our country to provide us, you and me, with the freedoms that we enjoy, right? Okay. And it's the least I can do, okay? They did things like they attacked Japanese pillboxes, they fell on grenades, they flew into hostile LZs to pick up troops. They did all this dangerous stuff, okay? Here, what am I doing? I'm sitting here in my comfy chair reviewing movies, okay? I'm living in comfort because of people like them. So the least I can do is give them a few minutes to honor them, okay? The movie military moment. And so, as you would imagine, what did they have to do to be awarded a Congressional Medal of Honor? Some hellacious shit they had to do. Stuff where just on a visual standpoint, it would just be amazing to see it in a movie. It'd be an amazing movie military moment, okay? And so that's where I get the title movie military moment there. So I think I've said that enough here. But yeah, our military movie moment recipients or honoree for tonight's movie military moment segment is Corporal Jack Arden Davenport, and he fought in the Korean War. Okay, that's where he got his Congressional Medal of Honor. And so I know Corporal Davenport deserves his own movie military moment music. So let's crack the top. Let's pop the top off of some movie military moment music. Oh yeah, I like to just let that music breathe for a little bit, because sometimes it just plays havoc with this show when I start talking right after I start playing that music. Anyway, all right. This is the movie military moment, and tonight's honoree in the movie military moment is Corporal Jack Arden Davenport, and he fought in the Korean War. And let's learn more about Corporal Davenport, shall we? Let's learn more about how he was awarded, what he did to be awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor. And I read on. For conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity at the risk of his life, above and beyond the call of duty, while serving as a squad leader in Company G in action against enemy aggressor forces early in the morning, while expertly directing the defense of his position during a probing attack by hostile forces attempting to infiltrate the area. Corporal Davenport, acting quickly when an enemy grenade fell into the foxhole which he was occupying with another Marine, skillfully located the deadly projectile in the dark, and undeterred by the personal risk involved, heroically threw himself over the live missile, thereby saving his companion from serious injury or possible death. His cool and resourceful leadership were contributing factors in the successful repulse of the enemy attack, and his superb courage and admirable spirit of self-sacrifice in the face of almost certain death enhanced and sustained the highest tradition of the U.S. Naval Service. Corporal Davenport gallantly gave his life for his country. And we salute you, Corporal Davenport, for saving your fellow soldier and giving your life to preserve the freedoms that we all too often take for granted today. And we can't give you enough of a tribute. We can't give you enough honor, but I can try. And this movie military moment is how I try to give you the honor that you are due. So thank you again, Corporal Davenport. And that has been our movie military moment. All right. Hallelujah. God bless America. God bless America. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed that. And hey, if anybody, by chance in the live chat or someone watching this later on, if you happen to know, Corporal Jack Arden Davenport's family, then yeah, let them know about this. I'd love that, have them hear about this and see a dedication to their loved one. It'd be fantastic. Okay. And eventually I got to start cutting these out of this broadcast, kind of making some shorts, some short videos out of these movie military moments. I keep meaning to do it, but I'm just too lazy. I should ask my man Ian to create like a movie military moment, like an intro, or it's like a cool graphic or something like that, because he's so good at that. So good at that shit. So talented. Absolutely. Now, if you guys are in the live chat, anybody in the live chat, if you guys want to show some love, financial appreciation, that kind of thing, Rumble, of course, has these things called Rumble Rants. Okay. And so if you like what I'm putting down here, if you like the effort I'm putting in, the the elbow grease I'm putting here in this hard work slaving over this Movies America spoiler warning stove. Yeah, you can give me a Rumble rant. And what is a Rumble rant? Well, that's where you can pay me a little bit of money. Show a little, donate $1 or $2 or $3 or $1,000. Whatever. To the Movies America spoiler warning cause. And how do you give a Rumble rant? Well, down there where you're typing in your live chat messages, you're going to see that handy dandy button with the $sign on it. Just click on that, and if it's your first time giving a Rumble rant, it's just going to ask you, for payment information, credit card, bank account, whatever. Okay, but you only got to do that once, so you set it and forget it, and then after that, you can choose like $1, $2, whatever, $1 million to donate to this show. To just show some show that you appreciate my little effort that we have here at Movies America Spoiler Warning Corporation. Absolutely. So and then on YouTube, I think you can do super chats on YouTube. I don't know, but you should be watching this on Rumble anyway. So Rumble rants where it is at. Absolutely. Okay. So, as I mentioned before, this movie stars John David Washington, and he's the son of Denzel Washington, and so he is just the latest in a long list of actresses that are the children of famous actors and actresses before them. Their parents or parent was an actor, was a celebrity, was a big time actor or actress in Hollywood, and so actors like John David Washington or Charlie Sheen, they're known as what we call nepotism babies. Now, some people use the term nepo babies in a derogatory sense. I'm not going to use it in a derogatory sense in this instance, okay? And where I'm going with this is I have picked out my top 5 nepo babies, okay? My top 5 actors or actresses that have made it big in Hollywood and made it big in movies in particular, not necessarily in TV, because this isn't TV's America. This is movies America, okay? And so this list is the top 5 actors or actresses whose parent or parents have been famous before them, and they've made the most of it, okay? And not all of these people have become famous just because of their parents, okay? They may have become famous all on their own, okay, if they weren't related to these people. But nonetheless, they're called nepo babies. And I'm going to go over what I think are the top 5 nepo babies, all right? So without further ado, there you go, the top 5 nepo babies, absolutely. And look at beer drinking Trev right there, showing some love right there, showing some appreciation for the Movies America Spoiler Warning Corporation. I appreciate that there, beer drinking Trev. $10. I'm going to drink to that. And sometimes the blade sticks in the frost. There we go. I love the Gladiator shout out. Absolutely. So yeah, the first time I saw Gladiator back in 2000 in the theater, and he first said that line, I was cracking up. I loved it. That was fantastic right there. It was awesome. Absolutely. Yeah, We Are the Show says, so long as you're not in government making domestic energy policy while your son's on the board of a foreign energy company, I see no problem with nepotism, so long as you're good at your job anyway. Exactly. And you're going to see 5 examples of that there. We Are the Show, and everyone else that's watching this now and later. You're going to see 5 great examples of that. They're good in their own right. Okay, they're charting their own course here. But in the example that he's talking about, Hunter Biden only got that far because of his daddy, his daddy who is Pervy Joe, Pedo Joe, as we all know. So, absolutely. But again, beer drinker Trev, appreciate the $10. Here's to you there, brother. Oh, yeah. Outstanding. To Maximus Decimus Meridius. All right, so on to the top 5 Nepo babies. And who could be? We're going to go from 5 down to 1. That's how I normally rock here. All right, starting with number 5, we have Jamie Lee Curtis. Yes, Jamie Lee Curtis, the daughter of Tony Curtis and Janet Leigh. I'm going to go with Janet Leigh. Janet Leigh famously killed in the shower in Psycho. Okay. And Jamie Lee Curtis, I think she's a pretty good actress, even outside of, Tony Curtis and Janet Leigh. Halloween, Trading Places, obviously True Lies, as we're seeing this. This is personally my favorite Jamie Lee Curtis scene of all time. Well, it's a toss-up between this and that famous Trading Places scene that we all know, all us dudes, and maybe some ladies, all know about in Trading Places. But yeah, this True Lies scene is a very, very, very tight, close second. I know I'm sounding all simpy and pervy over here. So, but yeah, so Jamie Lee Curtis, yeah, she's blazed a great acting trail, in her own right. Again, starting off with Halloween and Trading Places, True Lies, A Fish Called Wanda. She was fantastic in that movie. I mean, a myriad of different Jamie Lee Curtis movies that you can think of. And she's always kind of like that kind of sassy, kind of take no shit from anybody kind of character. She plays those kind of characters quite a bit, particularly when she's going up against Michael Myers in the Halloween movies. Now, A Fish Called Wanda, that was she was surprisingly funny in that movie. I liked how she got along with Kevin Kline in that movie, just that dynamic that she had with Kevin Kline. Kevin Kline, in A Fish Called Wanda, whenever he would start talking Italian, she would start getting all turned on and getting a little moist, so to speak. And it was hilarious. And then she ends up hooking up with John Cleese in that. True Lies, she goes toe-to-toe with Arnold Schwarzenegger as Helen Tasker, playing Arnold's wife. Harry, the wife of Harry Tasker in True Lies. She keeps up with Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy in Trading Places. And I'm sure I'm missing a whole lot of movies that she's in that I'm just not thinking of right now. Yeah, Beer Drinker Trip. That bridge is out. That bridge is out. In True Lies, love it. But yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis. And I'm sure that you guys are all thinking about all kinds of movies that she's in. She just won an Oscar for Everywhere, Everything, All at Once. She's pretty hilarious in that movie. I don't know necessarily hilarious, but interesting in that movie. She definitely looks a lot different in Everything, Everywhere, All at Once than she does here in this scene here in True Lies. But yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis is the number 5 top Nepo baby. And let's move on to number 4. Without further ado, we got the Bridges brothers. Yes, we got Jeff Bridges and Beau Bridges. And, of course, they're the sons of Lloyd Bridges, the famous for, I guess I picked the wrong day to stop sniffing glue in the parking lot. Lloyd Bridges from Airplane. And I'm sure there's plenty of other things that Lloyd Bridges is more famous than his Airplane role, or maybe not. I don't know. But Jeff Bridges and Beau Bridges, and this is one of the rare movies, if maybe not the only movie, that they were in together. The Fabulous Baker Boys, back in 88, 89, I believe, is when this movie came out. They starred in the Fabulous Baker Boys with a very hot Michelle Pfeiffer in this. Where they played a couple brothers that go on the road. They're piano players. And so this is Jeff Bridges before, you saw him as Obadiah Stane in, the first Iron Man movie. And now I think it's easy to say that out of these two brothers, Jeff Bridges is the more famous out of the two. Jeff Bridges just in King Kong, the King Kong movie in 1976. He was in Against All Odds. What else has he been? He played the president in the movie The Contender. And just been a whole lot of great stuff there. And what was it? I was about to say Everybody's All American, but that was Dennis Quaid, who also has a famous son who's a nepo baby, Jack Quaid. Okay, but yeah, Jeff Bridges. He's also True Grit. Now we're talking about some of his more recent roles. When he, now that he's an old man. Okay, face it, Jeff Bridges is an old man now. He was in True Grit, and what was that one where he's the old country singer in there? I'm sure someone would correct me or clue me in to that. So, but so he's playing old man roles now. But yeah, Jeff Bridges, yeah, back in the day, he was in a lot. I mean, if you look at Jeff Bridges' filmography on IMDb, you're like, holy shit! Think of all those movies in here. Beer Jerky Trev, they look like the nerdy Blues Brothers in this screenshot. Yeah, particularly Bo Bridges. Okay, Bo Bridges is like the nerdy one out of the Bridges brothers there. So yeah, because not as not the best picture of them in here, but I thought it was hilarious. That was funny, hilarious. A funny moment with the Bridges brothers. But yeah, and they knocked out of the park in The Fabulous Baker Boys with Michelle Pfeiffer in there. Now, Bo Bridges, a lot of you might recognize him as the dad in Jerry Maguire. He was the dad of Cush in Jerry Maguire. That basically he did Jerry Maguire dirty, man. He did him dirty, okay, and not right. That's not right at all. Also, he was in an underrated movie. He was an underrated movie called The Descendants. The Descendants with George Clooney. George Clooney's in it, and Bo Bridges was in The Descendants with George Clooney. Great movie. Go check out The Descendants. Go watch that after Snowpiercer, okay? And The Descendants, now that's a movie unlike The Creator that hits an emotional note. That is faux show, okay? All right, let's move on through here because I got to hurry it up, people, because I got to go see the movie for next week's episode and for this Sunday's spoiler-free episode because we're starting out October, Halloween. It's Halloween month here on Movies America, okay? And I call Halloween month Whorehouse on Movies America, okay? And so I've got my first Whorehouse episode of Movies America coming out this Sunday. And so what? I gotta rush out from this show here pretty soon to go see the movie. I gotta go see The Exorcist Believer. Yes, The Exorcist Believer. And that movie better be fucking good, okay? I have my doubts, okay, because the first Exorcist and The Exorcist 3 are pretty hard movies to follow up, okay? And most of me is like, why even bother? Why even bother like adding to the Exorcist franchise? Like the first one and the third one are perfectly fine. Just leave it alone. But I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping it's worth watching. But you shall see what I think about it this Sunday on my spoiler-free review of The Exorcist Believer. And then next Thursday's show, a week from tonight, that will be The Exorcist Believer show. Okay, but we're on the top 5 Nepo babies. Okay, so let's stay focused. Stay focused there, Van. Let's go on to number 3. That would be Angelina Jolie. Yes, Angelina Jolie, the daughter of one Jon Voight. And I have her on this list at number 3, just purely out of her very impressive, stellar movie filmography. Okay, her movie success is very, very formidable. Okay, and she's a good actress. She's a very good actress here, and she's not on this list just because of Jon Voight. Okay, and now of course she does make a lot of headlines. She makes a lot of news off of the screen as well. But she's been in some great movies like this movie Salt that not near enough people went and saw back in 2010 when this movie came out. But that's a great movie that she was in where she plays Evelyn Salt. And she was also, of course, in Mr. and Mrs. Smith with Brad Pitt, her future ex-husband. And she was in Gia. And what was the Girl Interrupted? She was in that with Winona Ryder and a bunch of other movies that you can think of. And she is adept at playing the roles where, she has an edge to her. but a sexy edge to her as well. Laura Croft, Tomb Raider, another Angelina Jolie movie. Beer drinking trip. Billy Bob had his way with her. Oh yeah, he did. He did, absolutely. He yep, absolutely. He obviously they're not together anymore, but yeah, he got his use out of her, I guess. To put it crudely. All right, and that was a very surprising pairing. I mean, Billy Bob Thornton, he's a cool dude, good actor, but I would have never paired Billy Bob Thornton with Angelina Jolie. But hey, it is what it is. I mean, we had who is it? Julia Roberts and what's his face? Crazy haired dude back in the day. Should have never brought it up if I can't remember his name. Lyle Lovett. There, Lyle Lovett with Julia Roberts. I mean, so sometimes the not so easy on the eyes guys will get the total smoke shows right there. So, but must be a personality and or money thing. But absolutely. We other show another sorry about the retardation. This one really stings though. So Angelina Jolie, a lot of great movies. She was just in Eternals, which that brought her filmography street cred just down a little bit, because I'm like, what the hell are you doing in that movie? She was like a bit player. She's kind of blended in with a cast of a bunch of loser characters in that. So I don't know what was up with that, but she's been in plenty of other good stuff, and she's famous enough. She's a household name, enough to be the number 3 Nepo baby on this list right here. So let's press on, shall we? And number 2 on the top 5 Nepo baby list is 1, Robert Downey Jr. Everybody, Robert Downey Jr. bringing it in, just racing to the top with a bullet. Well, not quite to the top. He's number 2, okay? But yeah, 1, Robert Downey Jr., and he is the son of Robert Downey Sr. Yes. And Robert Downey Sr. Now, you may not know Robert Downey Sr. Most people are like, where have I seen Robert Downey Sr.? Well, Robert Downey Sr., he is in one of my personal favorite movies called To Live and Die in L.A., and he plays like this Secret Service supervisor guy on there. So if you ever want to see Robert Downey Jr.'s dad in a movie, before anybody knew Robert Downey Jr. or before Robert Downey Jr. was famous for anything, check out his dad, Robert Downey Sr. in To Live and Die in L.A. from 1985. But hey, well before Robert Downey Jr. was Tony Stark, as we see here, he was in Weird Science and Back to School. He was also in, what was that? The Pickup Artist with Molly Ringwald, Chaplin, Less Than Zero. We're talking about movies from way back in the day, right? Okay. And so it's hilarious going back and watching those movies now. Now that we know him as Tony Stark, and you go watch Robert Downey Jr. and like Back to School and Less Than Zero and Weird Science, and he's in Weird Science and they're trying to make another girl and everything's going crazy. And Robert Downey Jr. is in a movie, I'm shitting my pants. He's got the bra on his head. Oh man, I tell you, it's just hilarious watching those movies. And then Back to School, he was Keith, what's his name? Anyway, the Rodney Dangerfield's kid's best buddy in college there. So Keith Gordon, that's his name. But just go check out those old movies with Robert Downey Jr. And then of course, obviously, watch him as Tony Stark in the Iron Man movies and the movies with Iron Man in it, of course. But and then of course he was in Chaplin. I think he was nominated for a Best Supporting Actor or Best Actor in Chaplin. Another underrated movie that not a whole lot of people have seen him in is Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. And that movie came out like right before he was in, well, not right before, a few years before before he played Tony Stark for the first time in Iron Man. He was also in Zodiac from David Fincher. Had a kind of I was about to say a bit part, but he had a prominent part in Zodiac from David Fincher. there with Jake Gyllenhaal and others. So yeah, Tony. So Robert Downey Jr. He has more than carved his own niche or niche. There we go. We're going to go with niche in Hollywood lore. I mean, he's very, very famous, and obviously people know him a lot more than Robert Downey Sr. Okay, so he is. That's why he's number 2 on the top 5 list of Nepo babies. And again, I use the term Nepo babies not in a derogatory sense in this situation. Okay, so as Robert Downey Jr. has knocked it out of the park. And he's also great in Oppenheimer. You've seen him in Oppenheimer here recently. He is obviously a completely different character in that than he is as Tony Stark, okay? But he is, he's definitely massively sleazy in Oppenheimer, okay? And so he just, again, shows you what range Robert Downey Jr. has as an actor. And I'm just glad that, he got past his turbulent off-screen, drug-riddled past, that he had back in that 80s, 90s, into the 2000s and whatnot there. So absolutely. Dear Sarge, hey, good to see you there, dear Sarge. We got here. About to roll out and lurk, but wanted to share that we got the guest in the mail today. Absolutely fucking great, man. Fucking great. I salute you for getting the guest right there. And well, there you go. Behind every great man is an even greater woman, apparently, because Mrs. Sarge followed my recommendation. Well, that's a first, anyone following my recommendation. But you will not be sorry, okay? You will not be sorry. The guest is fantastic. Everyone, go out and get the guest hard copy. Hard copy is the way to go, okay? Go get the guest. Great action movie. And it's a great action movie to watch in October because it's Halloween themed. It's a Halloween-themed action movie that's filmed like a horror movie. Like it's filmed like an 80s horror movie, but the guest, go get it. That's fucking fantastic. That's fantastic news there, dear Sarge. I appreciate that. So, but yeah, appreciate you lurk mode engaged. But you're listening. Absolutely. Beer Drink a Trev. Sheen number 1. You'll have to just wait there, sir. You'll just have to wait. And then Beer Drink a Trev earlier says, U.S. Marshals, am I right? I forgot. Yeah, I was in U.S. Marshals. Absolutely. So there. And yeah, check him out at U.S. Marshals. He makes that movie a little bit more interesting than it actually has any right to be. Unfortunately, for a sequel to The Fugitive, not that great a movie, in spite of Tommy Lee Jones being in it and Robert Downey Jr. being in it as well. So, but yeah, we're about to find out who's number 1. Will it be Charlie Sheen? Will it be Emilio Estevez? Will it be Jack Quaid, Dennis Quaid's son? Will it maybe be one of the Howards, Ron Howard? Could be Bryce Dallas Howard. Who could it be? Well, I'm going to end the suspense right now with drum roll, please. Number 1 coming up here. Michael Douglas. Michael Douglas, yes. People, I had to make Michael Douglas number 1. I had to. If you're like looking at watching me and just shaking your head, what the fuck are you thinking there, Van? What are you thinking? Michael Douglas, go out to IMDb, check out Michael Douglas's IMDb, and you will see why I have one Michael Douglas, son of Kirk Douglas, of course, as my number 1 Nepo baby here. And the phrase or, my stance that the Nepo baby term is definitely not meant to be negatory in this regard, applies to no one more than Michael Douglas. I mean, come on, my God, like Romancing the Stone, Wall Street, Basic Instinct, Fatal Attraction, Disclosure, Jewel of the Nile. He's more, a lot of people know him more as like, Hank Pym from Ant-Man recently, but what a tragedy if that's all you know Michael Douglas for. Their Black Rain, all these great fucking movies that he's been in. So just fantastic. Just look at his IMDb list and you're like, holy fucking shit, Traffic is another great movie that he was in. And he's a producer too. I mean, he's produced a lot of great movies. They produced Face Off. You got Michael Douglas to thank for Face Off. I mean, he's an icon in Hollywood. Okay, and obviously his late great father Kirk Douglas was an icon. I mean, it's fucking Spartacus, man, Spartacus here. But yeah, Michael Douglas. I mean, he's iconic. He's got iconic roles, Gordon Gekko in Wall Street, and going up against Sharon Stone or rubbing up against Sharon Stone in Basic Instinct. He was hilarious in Romancing the Stone as Jack T. Colton. Opposite Kathleen Turner before Kathleen Turner turned into a fat dude. Believe it or not, back in the 80s, man, Kathleen Turner, hot. Okay. Now she looks like Karl Rove, but yeah, back then, not too bad. Yeah, great. Reminding me of some other ones. Yeah. Ghosts in the Darkness. Yep. Falling Down. Yep. Absolutely. So Falling Down was a role that showed that Michael Douglas was not afraid to look nerdy and kind of dorky, but he was like just a great protagonist, or antagonist, in that movie, because he was, I guess some people would look at him as the bad guy. I mean, obviously, given what he does at the end, and he is a bad guy, but yeah, he has some good edge to him. And again, you never learned Michael Douglas's character's name in Falling Down. You never learn his name. That's why they have to refer to him as Defense in Falling Down, because you never learn his name, and his license plate on his car that he abandons at the beginning is just says Defense. So you never learned Michael Douglas's character's name in Falling Down. So a little useless trivia there. So yep, absolutely. Another movie that they do that in is Layer Cake. Layer Cake with Daniel Craig. Another movie you should go see. And I'm just listing all these movies that a lot of you probably haven't seen. Layer Cake with Daniel Craig. You never learned his character's name in that movie, but we are the show. I like it, but why isn't there's not enough diversity on your number list? Oh my God, I'm reporting you to the World Economic Forum there, Van. Oh my God, your ESG score is going down, sir. I am going to report you. Not enough diversity. You know what? I'm glad you reminded me we are the show, and lesson learned. I shall do better. I am going to plant a tree tomorrow to increase my ESG score, and I'm going to light a candle at my statue of Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar tomorrow, and that'll definitely up my ESG score. So I appreciate the heads up on that. Yes, many thanks to you, good sir. But yeah, that's been that is my top 5 Nepo baby list. Everybody right there, let me know what you think. Let me know in the live chat if you're watching this. Watching the recording of this, hey, let me know in the comment. Maybe you're like, Van, genius, Aristotle, Socrates, Nostradamus, Van Ebert. I mean, all in the same list right there, okay? So, or you might be like, my God, Van, with your low IQ, you're unarmed and still extremely dangerous. What are you thinking, Van, with these people on your top 5 Nepo list? What are you thinking? Come on. All right. So you might be that guy or gal. Who knows? Colin Hanks almost did make it there. Beer drinking Trev. Absolutely. Almost made it. I mean, he had like the Carradines, you had David Carradine, Keith Carradine, the son of John Carradine. You had Bryce Dallas Howard, son of Ron Howard. God, who else is there? You've got Una Chaplin. She's like the great granddaughter of Charlie Chaplin. Una Chaplin is the woman that the woman that Robb Stark married in Game of Thrones that got him and her killed. Una Chaplin. That's Una Chaplin there. So also she was on How I Met Your Mother. And yeah, just a lot of folks that almost made the list, but didn't quite make it. Not at all. So, but that has been the top 5 Nepo baby list, and we're gonna get that bad boy off the screen. Okay, all right. Let's check out live chat. See what else we got here. And oh yeah, we got some good live chats there. So I think I'm all caught up. Right there. Absolutely. Okay. All right. Hey, I'm going to show you Movies America Mad Libs now here. So, and let me get into there. GDPN.locals.com. I was kind of talking about it a little earlier. The Movies America Mad Libs here. That's on TDPN.locals.com. I'm going to share my screen. Let's get this going on. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. There we go. Movies America Mad Libs. You see it right there. Okay. So again, yeah, this is on tdpn.locals.com, the Till Death Podcast Network website where we have all our content. Okay. And Movies America Mad Libs, what is it, right? Well, remember Mad Libs when you were a kid, where you buy the Mad Libs little tablets with all the paragraphs in there, and you get blank words you fill in, and you fill it in, if you were like me back then. You fill it in naughty, disgusting, depraved, perverted words and shit like that, to make yourself giggle and your equally immature friends. Okay, so yeah, those were Mad Libs when you're a kid, right? Well, now we have a modern day version of Mad Libs for a modern audience. Okay, never mind. When I said it that way, it makes it sound gay. No, there's no woke with these Movies America Mad Libs whatsoever. Okay, so you can get as raunchy and depraved as you want. Okay, so what this is when you go to Movies America Mad Libs here on tdpn.locals.com, you're going to see that it's a script. Okay, it's a movie script, and of course, with movie scripts, we have characters, and we have 3 characters here: Holster McHenessy, Patsy Penicillin, and Nigel Nightworm. And where you come in is you get to write lines in this script for each of these characters. 1 line per character, please. Okay, because they're talking to each other, right? So we have to have 1 line per character, right? And so I've written the first few lines for each of these characters. You see it right here, okay? And then after you read through my lines to kind of get an idea of the flavor, the vibe of this screenplay, and then you read all about the characters here to find out what are these characters, what are they like, and then also when you read up here, where the scene is taking place, you see fade in, EXT for exterior, so we're outside. They're at the Mar-a-Lago main gate. It's daytime, and then so that's where our location is for this scene, right? And this is scene 2. And because we already did scene 1, okay? All right, and then here's the lines that I've written here, okay? So we've got, the first line, Holster says, Jesus, the inside of that Uber smelled like a bunch of fucking bananas incubated inside Lizzo. And Nigel's like, my eyes are still watering, So obviously you get the flavor of the story. And then you can write the next lines. You can write as many lines as you want for each of these characters. Well, where do you write your lines? Well, you come down here to the comments. All right, click on the old comments there. Click on that. And then you come down here to the comments. And you can just start typing in here. Okay, so you just type in. If I can spell, if I can type. And then you just start writing the next line. And Ron DeSantis, just start writing your lines down there. Okay, put them in the comments. And then if you run out of room, you just do another comment. Just write more lines there. And so the sweet part of this whole deal is me, Ian, and Sean, the other 2 members here of the unholy trinity that is the Till Death Podcast Network. We have to read whatever you write. Okay, we have to read whatever you write. Okay, and we have to read it live. Okay, we have to read it live. And we're going to read it live on this show, okay? We're going to read it live on this show, and we're going to pick out the best, like whoever writes the best lines for the script, we're going to pick that out, and we're going to read your lines here on the show, and we have to voice out your lines, okay? So as you saw, one of the characters is Patsy Penicillin, a hairdresser / whore, okay? We have to read out your lines live here on this show, on this very show right here, in the near future, I should say, okay? Which will be pretty hilarious. Hilarious for you, humiliating for us, okay? So, yeah, that's Movies America Mad Libs. So, yeah, get to tdpn.locals.com and check that out. And like I said before, you can go there and you can put in TDPN in the promo code, and you get 1 month free of that website. Plenty of time to write your lines in there, okay? Alrighty then. Enough of that. Okay. And what else we got? What else we got here? Because we're getting ready to wrap it up, everybody. Getting ready to wrap it up. All right. What do we got here in the live chat? Okay. Oh yeah, we got. Well, yeah. Here we go. Got some stupid ass fucking bots to get rid of. Bye bye. Bye bye, dipshit. Bye bye. I know. Go cry in your mommy's basement. All right. Yeah, where's my boy Professor Savage Dad, man? Get him in here. Professor Savage Dad. Where you at? Oh, I'm gonna be in here. Look out for your boy. Come on. Yeah, I think we should use the message to make our Aaron Brockovich parody film, Marlon Brockovich. There you go. There's your chance, Unfolding Joker. Do it, man. Get in there with Julia Radish. Yeah, so we got some good. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Been banned in Viva's room, or yeah, for your name. No, that's too bad. That's not right. All right, but again, hey, I just appreciate everyone, except for that dipshit spammer, the dipshit bot, for joining. All right, so okay. So yeah, like I said, we're wrapping it. We're getting ready to wrap it up here, people. Okay, for this episode, because again, I got to go out. I gotta catch The Exorcist Believer. Okay, the feel-good movie of this year, The Exorcist Believer. Okay. All right. Now I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything here. All right, kind of going down the list, the listy list. All right, so you can also check out my spoiler-free reviews at where? www.moviesmerica.com. That's the audio-only versions of my spoiler-free reviews. So if you don't want to watch me do those reviews, like you can watch it on X or YouTube or Rumble, you can just listen to the audio-only versions on moviesmerica.com, or you can catch those on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, any place you imagine you can pick. You can catch podcasts. You can get the audio-only versions of my spoiler-free reviews that come out every Sunday. Now, the audio-only versions don't really come out until like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whenever I fucking feel like putting them out there. But the episodes you can watch come out every Sunday afternoon there. Okay? So, again, the Movies America spoiler-free episodes come out every Sunday afternoon. All right, moving on. I am on X, formerly known as Twitter. The artist formerly known as Twitter. I'm on X and Instagram under @MoviesAmerica, and I'm on Gab, everybody. I'm on Gab now under @MoviesAmerica. So, yeah, follow me on Gab, and then follow me on X and Instagram. And anybody you can think of that what you think even remotely would want to follow me on any of those sites, yeah, let them know. Follow me out there, okay? And they can easy way to get links to each of my shows right there. Okay. And then tdpn.locals.com. Not going to spend a whole lot of time on this because I just talked about it right there, but tdpn.locals.com. Check it out. And also get to the merch store. Yeah, get yourself some Till Death Podcast Network merch. Okay. We got Kwanzaa. We got Hanukkah. We got Christmas just around the corner, everybody. Okay. Particularly Kwanzaa, okay, because who doesn't love getting Kwanzaa gifts, right? And you can get those Kwanzaa gifts at the merch store at the link in the description down below. Get yourself some Movies America yoga pants, or some Movies America shot glasses, or a phone case, or a T-shirt, okay? And we're gonna have more and more variations of merch out there. Ian is the man on the job doing that, getting more and more merch out on the merch store. So you're going to have more selection later on, but there's plenty of a selection out there right now, okay? All right. Moving on to @Till Death Network, solo.to/Till Death Pod Network. And that's where you can go to find all the links that have to do with anything Till Death Podcast Network related, okay? Shows and what have you there. If you don't want to hunt and peck all over the internet for where can I find Till Death Podcast Network stuff, well, you just go right here to this address down below and find all of it there. And then we have solo.to/tildeathstudios. And if you are a content creator, or you're thinking about getting into the content creation game like myself or Ian, on the Whiskey Capitalist podcast, or Sean with the Sippin' with Sean show, content creator. We are the show. We have a couple of content creators, or a few content creators in the live chat. I'm just going to name a couple. We've got We Are the Show with Darth Jason in the chat there. Forgive me if I missed anybody. I only have so much time. I apologize. So if you're a content creator and you want to add some flair to your show, pretty it up a little bit, you can get stuff like the intros that you saw earlier in the show, or the background. You see like the Movies Merica background back here, or the overlay up there. If you want that kind of stuff for your show, go to solo.to/tildeathstudios, and my man Ian is going to hook you up with that kind of cool shit. He's very good at that. Okay. All right. Solo.to/I'm Sean Cav. And that's where you can go for all the links that have to do with Sean Cav here on the Till Death Podcast Network. All the links to his episodes, links to, his musical endeavors. I'm sure he's got some musical content out there as well and whatnot. So definitely check out all that he's got to offer at solo.to/I'm Sean Cav. Got solo.to/the Whiskey Capitalist here, and that's where you can see all the links to anything that has to do with the Whiskey Capitalist podcast show that I'm sure a lot of you watch on Monday and Wednesday. You just saw Viva Fry on the Whiskey Capitalist podcast last night. And, if you like that show and you want an easy place to go to see any links that have to do with the Whiskey Capitalist podcast, go to that link down below right there, okay? All right, and last but not least, solo.to/Till Death Podcast. Yes, that's where you can go to see the links that have to do with Ian and his lovely wife Jen's show, the Till Death Podcast, the inaugural show on the Till Death Podcast Network, Till Death Podcast Network, I should say. And they have that show every other Saturday. And if you want an easy way to get to join that show, to watch it, go to solo.to/Till Death Podcast. All right, man, we are wrapping it up. We are getting really close. The sun is starting to go down here. And you know what? I just appreciate you guys joining me for this show here tonight. And anybody that's watching this, watching the recording, I appreciate it. If you're watching the recording later on, get in the comments, man. Get in the comments. I want to hear from you. What'd you think of the creator? Any movie recommendations you have? Hey, any movies you want me to review? Get in the comments and let me know that. Absolutely. And forward this to your friends, family, whatever. Follow me on X and Instagram. That would be fantastic. I might get a little tear in my eye if I see that. Okay. All right. So as always with that, get out there, people. Those movies aren't going to watch themselves. Thanks, everybody. Can't even talk. Thanks, everybody.
Hey, everybody! Hey! I got the police after me. They're coming after me, okay? But I got just enough time to ask you. Just like this video, if you would, and then subscribe to this channel, okay? I'm gonna be in handcuffs pretty soon. I gotta tell you. Hey, so before they haul me off, make sure you watch these videos over here, okay? And thanks for watching this video and the Till Death Podcast Network, okay? I gotta go.